All right, so for recording purposes, this class is going to be on a head and shoulders and how to trade the head and shoulders and enter it, right? So the head and shoulders, first of all, is a bearish pattern, right? Just like the inverse head and shoulders that we see two of them right here, right? These patterns are bullish, right? So it takes 5 to an hour because I believe that's where the head and shoulders at. Yes, right. And it's actually gonna look better on a larger time frame. Let me just push this over here. And the reason I'm saying it's gonna look better on a larger time frame, let me just note this is the head and shoulders that I see. Shoulder, and we have a shoulder here, right? And then we got a head here. So me going to a smaller, a bigger time frame is just gonna it's gonna put the candles together for me, which is gonna give me less price action, right? Um Before I go there, my mind just wants to tell you this. And when you're seeing patterns, right? You see how I just drew this big old head and shoulders. For anybody that didn't see that, or for the people that did see that, always remember that there's patterns within these patterns, right? You just got to know when they played out and when they're done and what's really going on. So if I just take this to about a 4 hour, we're able to see that head and shoulders a little more clearly now, right? All right, so first of all, a head and shoulders, I was coming over here because I was gonna go to Google. Oh, well, I could go to the Discord. Never mind. I'm even gonna do all that. Drop that picture. So, all right, here we go. This is how I like to look at a head and shoulders, right? Because I like to be honest with you, predict the market, right? I like to predict what's about to happen. I like to know what's about to happen before it happens. And it's not a case of like wanting to like be right or anything. It's just I think anybody's like that, really. I think a lot of people just are not outspoken about it, right? You would like to know what's gonna happen in the future. So what a head and shoulders is, before I break it down that way, is a bearish pattern, right? How I like to look at them is, and I'm gonna just show you this picture first here. I'm gonna click on it, and it's right here on the right-hand side of the screen. I like to look at them like three pyramids, right? You could look at them like the three pyramids of Egypt. Do I know the names of them? No, who doesn't? But you could look at them as the three pyramids in Egypt, right? And that's how I look at them, right? There's one that's like grand and it's bigger than the other, but it's whatchamacallit, you can clearly see that it looks like, even like me right now, like a human structure, right? Meaning a shoulder here, a head, and a shoulder. So I like to also look at it as the temple that we have, right? And this is going to be your neckline, right? But no, whoever created it, I'm thinking in my head, you kind of went with your structure of your body as well, right? Because that's why they call it the neckline, right? So anything that breaks below this neckline, and me just showing you with body parts, will get bearish, right? This is going to be your support here, right? Just like your arms, right? Not like you are the one that's able to go up and down over that support, right? And after that, it's you wanting to break out, whatever you're doing. If it's exercising, shooting basketball, you know what I'm saying? Anything that you want to do. So I just like to find different ways to like explain the charts in like simple ways. So as we look here, right, you can see as your human body, and know that everything will not be perfect in this chart. Just like whoever identified this is how they seen the head and shoulders. But with them identifying this and uploading it to the computer, I am able to identify like, yep, that is the head and shoulders, right? Now, Moody, on the other hand, I would have said this whole thing was the shoulder, right? And this whole thing right here was the shoulder, right? And I like this to be the neckline as well, right? I like little snipery entries. I see that this is mainly hitting wicks, right? One body touch, one body touch. So I'll try to bring it up into this body, right? And see how it looks there, because I know that there's a head and shoulders right here, right? Can we identify there's a left shoulder here, a head here, and then a shoulder here. And we have a neckline, and it broke and proceeded down to the other support and created a bigger head and shoulders, right? And this is playing out a lot of time throughout the day, right? You just got to be able to identify it. So real quick, before I get any further into class, just with this picture, I like to help you know how to enter this trade, right? So for anybody that's trading patterns, right? We've seen a head and shoulders here, but right, this is the overall pattern that we see. So to enter this trade, you will want to wait for it to break below your neckline, right? You could have even entered on this candle because you've seen it just smashing down, right? And you didn't have an idea like, oh, I don't think this is going to wick out and things of that nature. But Moody's always going to tell you, look to your left, look to your left, right? That's going to be the target that's going to want to take out, right? All the bottoms of these candles, right? So I would enter in when it breaks that neckline, and I'll be patient because you know that it's going to test, reject, try to see if it can break over, and then it'll proceed down, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at another one before we get into the charts, right? We have one right here, right? And just like this one, kind of this person that uploaded it sees the chart kind of similar to me, right? How we just drew like bigger shoulders, just like you see here, right? Just how I drew it here, but I'm gonna bring it down to the 1 hour so you can be able to identify it a little better. Just how I drew it here, right? Because I know that the pattern is not going to be perfect and anything can happen. And within this situation, I know, okay, now I can start to identify, hey, there goes a triple top, right? Because we had a double top and it came down. And how can we identify that as a tweezer top reversal, right? Bullet bearish reversal, right? And then we can also see the bear flag there. Moody, stay on track. So long story short, we ended up seeing the triple bottom, right? But that's all within this head and shoulders, right? But when you're trading, you have to, right? I'll never get tired of stressing this, right? This is what took my trading to a whole nother level, right? It's multiple time frame analysis. And as I get through and breaking down time frames, especially as I start doing the Strat course, and I'm going to allow people to come and just like see the class as I'm making a few of them. And I'll have a Q&A afterwards, but multiple time frame analysis is what helps me. And I believe that that's one of the biggest edge that I have in the market, right? To be able to be profitable. And it's just being able to manipulate these time frames, like how I'm just on this 1 hour and I'm able to see this head and shoulders, right? But I see this inverted head and shoulders, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, right? Because this is a whole setup that I like. But if we was to go over to the 4 hour time frame, right, we're able to see that head and shoulders just a little bit clearly, knowing that, hey, once it breaks, like the candlesticks being like this, right? And it can be like this, like a hammer, but a full candlestick just breaking over this new blue line that I'm gonna pull up here. Once it breaks over here, and honestly, I would like it over here, right? And I'm looking at this candlestick. And once I do that, just because I'm confident in my charting, I'm now able to, because I deem that to be support and resistance, right? Because the body of the candlestick, I look to the left and I'm seeing that it's also under the other shoulder, right? It could have been over the other shoulder and that would have been a different scenario I could have spoke about, right? But it's under that shoulder. So it's showing me, hey, neckline, even though I have a lot of lines right here, neckline, right? And that's gonna be once I say that the head and shoulders is disabled, right? Like it's no longer there. That's when you'll hear Moody say, hey, the head and shoulders is subjective, right? Because we had a head and shoulders here. We know we saw that big one, but check this one out. And I'll draw it just in case you can't see it. We have a shoulder, we have a head, and we have a it doesn't look so perfect. No, I'm not even gonna say that. It looked it like that. And see, as soon as I started drawing it out, I'm like, that's not there. I wanted to see that. And you have to be able to be really quickly on your feet and do that on the chart. Why? Because when I seen it and it was scrumbled up like that, I seen shoulder, head, shoulder, right? And it rejected. And I'm like, no, it's not there. That's just the inversion cup and handle. That's the inverted head and shoulders Moody, right? So, but you got to be quick on your feet to be able to do that, right? And this is more so like a head and shoulders. And this is just the mind, right? But you got to be able to know when you're with self and ego. It's part of self, but my ego is like wanting to be right and wanting to show you something, right? But I utilize it in a good way where we have a shoulder here, we have a head here, and that's sloppy. We have a head here, and we have a shoulder here, right? And now that I start drawing it, like you can see it, right? And you can see like a neckline, boom, drops, right? And they play out pretty quickly sometimes, just depending on the time frame that we're on. Just gonna delete this real quick, and we're gonna proceed back over here. But I think you guys got the gist of like what the head and shoulders is, but I don't want to just think. So let me know in the comments if you guys understand what a head and shoulders is and how to trade it. But as I wait for the comments, I'm just gonna utilize this beautiful pattern, this beautiful head and shoulders that's right here to display. So we have a shoulder here, a head, and a shoulder, right? Whatever time frame you're seeing this on, right? So if you're trading the 5 minute, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, and you're seeing this, you want to go ahead and draw your support line, right? Where you just see the bounce. And sometimes people look at it like, hey, it looks like a W, right? I like to just look at them as pyramids. You please, doesn't matter how I say I like to look at the charts, please look at the chart how it makes you feel comfortable and how you're able to relate to it, right? Because it's your mind, it's your subconscious. Everybody's gonna see something completely different. Well, let me go in the chat real quick. Yes, understood. All right, cool. Understand. Awesome. You're welcome, Eartha. So with that neckline is also gonna you can also look at it as your support, right? And once you find your neckline, always remember this, right? Take this with you. The neckline is going to be your market structure. Why is it going to be your market structure? Because market structure identify support and resistance, right? I just said that the neckline, it'll be support. So now the mind, I would love it to identify with, okay, so if it's a neckline and support, it has to be within the market structure. It has to be the market structure because market structure highlights supports and resistance. And this is going to be a major support because we're entering once this breaks. And a head and shoulders pattern, even though they are subjective, is still a bearish pattern, right? Some people look at them as reversal patterns. I never seen it be called a continuation, but some people look at the head and shoulders as a reversal pattern. I don't, right? I just see that as a huge pattern, right? And if it breaks this neckline, yes, you want to short that guy. Why? Because it's market structure, and that's a major support and resistance, right? Look at this chart. Boom, rejection, fine support, bouncing. That's gonna bounce. And you see how it gives you higher highs? This is a major support and resistance, right? So when you find major support and resistance, that's going to be part of your market structure, right? Because it's going to show you swing highs and swing lows, right? Whenever you find those things. And yeah, that's the best thing I can say about that. And you trade them once it breaks out. How you put a stop loss to it, you want to put it at the high of the shoulder, right? I'm putting it right here just because my eyes can clearly see we fell down, right? But if anything, if I was trading and this was just playing out like this, my stop loss would be anywhere like right here, right? And that's because I'm looking at the price and I'm like, oh, that's not really that bad. That's about $1 away, right? I could have went $1.50 away, and that still wouldn't have hurt the contract, depending on the time that I put on that contract, right? Cool. All right, so now let's go back to the charts. So the way I'm going to break this down, now that everybody understands how to like trade a head and shoulders, I'm gonna have to go to a smaller time frame. I don't want to go too small because I want to be able to like just have it kind of perfect. All right, we all see this head and shoulders, right? So let's not get confused as I move down the time frames because I'm going to erase it, right? Just for now. Right. Ooh, we didn't do that. All right. So what I'm trying to do, so you guys could be like, I'm thinking in my mind, I'll think out loud. I'm trying to go to the perfect time frame so I can be able to show you this. Like, this is not the perfect one because I want to find bull flags here, but so I can be able to show you how it's created, right? We have a pole there. It may just be a little bit larger. I'm just trying to draw it out, trying to identify it for you, right? That's going to be a bear flag, right? Just like we have another one here, that pole, and how it consolidated for a little bit. And that was the break of that bear flag. Once you start seeing the charts in this particular way, it's price action trading, and you're trading each candlestick, right? And knowing what's going on, like you won't get confused. You're like, okay, we opened up, we dropped here. That's a tweezer bottom reversal, but it didn't reverse, right? It hit 50% of retracement. Now it created it created a tweezer top reversal, right? How do we know that? Because this candle's opening here, try to go up and just went straight down. Boom. If we put it all together, that's a bear flag. Bear flag breakdown, right? Breaking down through its neckline, right? And that's still part of its neckline too. But once you start breaking down the time frames, like how we were here at the 4-hour, and look, maybe I should just delete all this. Right, so your neckline would be like right here first, being on the 4-hour, right? And I still bring this bad boy. I like it here, but it's just me when I chart. I like to see things. I'll be like, nah. And I was trying to see how it looked like with that support, right? I don't like it there. I like it right here. And I'm always gonna like to identify better with liver price action comparing it to the past, right? So I'm seeing that this head and shoulders on the 4-hour, it truly hasn't played out yet, right? But that's being able to identify with the time frames, right? Like if I was taking it to the 7-hour, it still hasn't played out yet, right? If I was to take it out to the 12-hour, still hasn't played out yet, right? And this is why I manipulate the time frame, right? This 12-hour is going to show you nothing but a whole bunch of tweezer bottoms and just morning stars and evening stars. So when you start to manipulate these time frames and having the time frames that you like, you'll see the chart, like how I say it. Like, look at this bull flag here, right? That's a bull flag. That was a little bit consolidation, breakout. That's how quick it happens. But when you can, and then when you look, I'll just do it real quick. We could take it down to like about an hour because it would give us 7 candlesticks to go off of. There it is. Once you can identify with that, you're gonna be like, oh snap, I see it now. That just gave us too much time. There goes your pole, there goes your flag, a little bit of consolidation, right? Some consolidation, breakout, meaning your breakouts right here. Just had to hold, right? And you really didn't because it's a SPY. So, even if it fell right here, once it came right here, you was doing pretty good, right? Because if you would entered in right here at the break of it, you would have been like how you're supposed to trade it, you would have been pretty good, or at the bottom of the channel. So I'm gonna bring it back over to 12-hour to keep explaining what I was explaining. And before I keep explaining what I'm explaining, is everybody able to follow along and keep up with what I'm explaining?
Yes.
Cool. I'm trying to slow down, like, and just slow down the teaching. Yes. All right, cool. Right, so, and you can always find these on larger time frames. I'm like, hold on, it's not what Moody said. It's what makes sense. Just do. That's how I used to predict the market. Like, I just remember because I'm just slowing down and I'm just like, oh snap, I remember doing that. When I used to do stuff like that, and I used to be like, yo, that is. And then that's when I used to learn, like, bro, this pattern within these patterns, right? So the overall pattern here, and let me maybe go to like a 3. The overall pattern that's inside of, right? Because we have to remember, I know I didn't do it. I'll do it right here, so it could just make sense before I explain that. Bull flag. I know I don't have no consolidation right here, right? But quickly overstand. This is a 3-hour time frame. I know it's not perfect. Let me just move this a little bit. He's kind of crooked, like he was sipping on that thing. But right here, remember, just from the opening of this candlestick, and you can look right here. I'm sorry, I probably went too fast. The opening of this candlestick right here, where it says "O," right, is 438.72. So from 438.72, once I get to the top of this channel, you just want to look right here. That's the price that it's at, right? So when I get up there, it's gonna be 439.20. That's still a good move, right? So you gotta understand, it's a 3-hour time frame. Moody, it's just gonna take me forever. I want to take it to a 1-minute time frame or a 4-minute time frame so you can see how it's gonna play those levels a little bit. Then it breaks out, right? And I'll do it in a few, right? But then we break out. That's gonna be like a bull flag there. Then it does it again right here, right? And after it does that, that's when you start to get the bear flags, right? And even if you look left to right, let me just put this over here so you can see the yellow line. Even if you was to look left to right, like here, you will see the bull flag, their turn, bear flag, right? That's why I like to even put, when you start to break down the time frame, see I was on a 4-hour, that was his neckline. I'm gonna just draw another one. This is just the neckline to the pattern if it just stays right here, right? But truly, this was the breakout. But that's gonna be seen on a smaller time frame. When I take you smaller, the high is blue, right? So before I do that, we have to understand that these patterns create that. And with what's inside of here, I'll show it to you on a smaller time frame, but it's an inverse cup and handle. There's always an inverse cup and handle inside of your head and shoulders, right? And there's always a cup and handle inside of an inverse head and shoulders. It's just shoulder. Here, I gotta draw it. I'm sorry. Shoulder, head, shoulder, blast off. This just part of the patterns, right? And that's why I still look at the inverse cup and handle bullish until it breaks out of his not until it breaks out of his rising wedge, because the inverse cup and handle, when we get to that class, I'll break it all down. But the inverse cup and handle is like a right, like a head, and then it starts to flag up. That's the handle part because it's inversed, right? And you can look at that as a rising wedge. Once that finishes, like this upside down, look, I'll find a perfect picture. Ooh, why'd you do that? I'll find a perfect picture one right here. Inverse cup and handle. Inverse cup. That's the rising wedge. Once that finishes, that's when you can short it. Because that's when the head and shoulders is like, oh, you know, it failed. It like, you see the delete full flag. It's just, all you have to do is look at the patterns, right? It flagged up, it broke up, right? Ooh, damn, just put that right there. Bear flag. That's what creates this head and shoulders, right? But then you want to look at your neckline, like right there. You see clearly the inverse cup and handle. That's why it's bearish. But it's bearish once it finishes, because this can keep going just right. That's why I say that the head and shoulders is subjective. Once you know what creates the patterns, right? And a lot of patterns create certain patterns, just like there's patterns that create the bull flag, right? There's patterns that create the bear flag. There's patterns that because there's patterns within patterns, right? And then that's how I figured it out, and I'm like, got it. I love bullish reversals. It's the 2 candle patterns, 3 candle patterns. Why? Because I'm a strat trader, and the strat made me identify, because that's how I started trading, like, and was able to like maintain myself like as a full-time trader, just trading price action. You see, look, I know for a fact it's not showing me the rest of the pictures here. Don't look at this, but just this setup, this, now, because I told you, was the head and shoulders. You see the rising wedge. I'll show you the picture now. Right here. You know that's what it was. But that's the PMG, because Rob figured it all out and broke it down. So that's why like strat traders just know where the price is going. And you see Moody, Didi, like Sarah, and it's just like insane gains, but it's stuff like that. But you have to know, like, you'll hear stratters specifically only talk about the strat, right? I don't just consider myself a stratter. And it's just because I know their terminology. Like, they're not gonna talk about a bull flag. They don't talk about stuff like that, because that's not part of the strat, and it's just not part of its world. It's like, what? Bull flag, huh? You mean a PMG? Like, it ran up. You mean they left you a PMG to take out the stop losses? Like, that's how they trade. That's how I trade, right? So, they don't talk about patterns. You're not going to hear cup and handle or any of that. But what I tell myself is like, hey, Moody, slow down. A lot of people ain't just going to be open like you and just be talking, but just think about it. I'm talking about specifically Rob, right? And I love this guy. And I need to ask him, but I know I'm right. That sucks. I don't know I'm right? But I feel cold-heartedly that I'm right. And what I mean by that is like, you're a strat trader. You only talk about the strat. But you're a second generational trader. Your dad didn't know about the strat. You created the strat. So what does that leave me with if I'm going down the rabbit hole? You know what support and resistance is. You know what bull flags are. You know what helping handles are. You know what all of this stuff is. That's how you figured out the strat. You just don't utilize that as you explain and teach it. But your subconscious mind sees all of that as you created a new strategy for it. Does that make sense? Let me know, because I don't feel like I'm just rambling, right? So, but that's the head and shoulders, right? And let me know if you guys can see the inverse cup and handle. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, that's basically the class, to be honest with you. That's the class. I don't want to hold y'all up. I definitely want to open up at least some questions. So with that being said, let me just delete all that. Before I leave the questions, for anybody, just note this. You guys were trading with me when this happened. You guys are like, and we were live trading. And this is on a 6 minutes time frame. It doesn't have to be. Remember, I told you that this is my look, and let me pull up the RSI so you can see it. Remember, I told you guys this is my favorite setup. Hey, RSI, pop up. Where you at? Man, I'm gonna have to fix it all the way through. Why is it not popping up? Oh, this thing looks so ugly. I used to trade like this without the EMA. Like, they're not asking me all that, Moody. Let me not get all in depth. But yeah, I used to trade like this. This is crazy. That's crazy. That's why people be getting faked out. Take that off. Put that there. Put that there. Put that there. So I can see what I'm doing. Psych. Let's go back. Ooh, take that off. Let's go back. I hope y'all don't hear my dog snoring in the background. He out. It's just he in dreamland. Cool. I took all that stuff off. Ew, take this off, take that off. And we good to go, my brothers. There we go. It looks so much better. All right. So all I was gonna tell you before I just open the floor for questions is you guys were trading. Look at the RSI. This is my favorite setup, right? At the bottom of a downtrend, right? Look at the time. Look at the time. Like when you see these cursors, look at everything, like especially if they're moving slow. Look to the right, all the way here. Look at the price, right? When you're there, and then look down here. Look at your RSI. Look at the time. Look at the date, right? And the chart starts speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it charted up, but and look, I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna show you. And not too much charting, just a little bit of something. And I do want it to be a little bit perfect, so I can always make it perfect. Look, and for y'all to know, you can always make your chart perfect. Like this is why I like the magnet. Where are we? I just want some resistance, to be honest with you. See, and since I know how to chart, it's like I want some resistance. As soon as I seen the head and shoulders here. So now I want that at the bottom. Like bada bing, bada boom, match it up there. Go look. Yeah, stop playing with me. Yeah, and then I'm gonna bring that bad boy a little bit higher because new pricing is always better. So that was my favorite setup, right? You see the setup there. Inverse cup. I know today we're done with well, we're not done with it, but I know we were talking about head and shoulders, but inverse head and shoulders. I like looking for bullish stuff. I'm just a bull, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'll be with the stocks. The stocks want to go up. Moody want to go up with them. Right. Force you down. What's the whole point of you IPOing? So long story short, see inverse head and shoulders, right? At the bottom of it, the RSI, boom, you knew it was gonna get super bullish, right? Favorite setup. It's coming down. We're chilling. That's just the 6 minute. You feel me? I'm about to say it's just that time frame. I don't even somebody had me go to 25-minute time frame, so I'll be having it up there. But I'm gonna start utilizing it too. But you see it? You see how beautiful it is? It's not at the bottom. Like you can catch it at the bottom. You're gonna catch it at the bottom. That's like support resistant. Once it bounces, that's the bottom of that. Man, come on, man. Stop playing. It's just simple. It's that simple. That's how I be cheating. Oh, I'd be like, I know where it's going. I know where it's going. And you just gotta have faith in yourself and just know it's going there. You know, you don't see this PMG. You don't see that PMG. The rest of the PMG, you just don't see. It's all the way. See, it's gonna take forever because I'm on a 25-minute chart, but it's all the way Waldo. See, it's all the way over there. They know you're not gonna do this. They know you're not gonna do this. I didn't know to do this until I was like, oh snap, that's what you're supposed to do. You see, look, watch me make a match. And then I'm taking questions. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me go ahead and get a little bit more. Moody, get you a little bit of extra. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it look right now. 441. We definitely went 441. Let's go to 443. Now people will know why we cannot pass this price. Just go like this, Moody. They're gonna know why we can't pass that, right? Because it's past price action, right? That's called swing high, swing lows. That's support, that's resistance. We need to get back up there. Hey, and we take all of them out. Boom, 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 boom. It's just a game to me now. I just be like, all right, cool. And then we go to the right here. Bada bing, bada boom. You see all that price action? You see the rest of it? Look, this is the PMG we was talking about right here. You see that? And it took all these out, and we just couldn't find where it was going. Look how perfect it is. Bow, full flag, bow, bow, bow. Right? Back under that. Then I say this is where it's gonna stop at. That's why we can't get past that price. You see how I try to make it, man? It's that easy. So we know where price is going now, right? Because it's just a big old. That's why I'm so ready to teach the strat, and I'm gonna just do it like this so we can be able to see it. And if y'all got any questions, please drop it in the chat or just unmute yourself as I find this handy dandy tool. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, it's gonna be somewhere in here. My range now. Where's it at? Oh, it's in here. It's gotta be on my phone. Should we do this one? Yeah, we should do that one. You feel me? That's all it is. This is a broadening formation. Oh, I got my magnet on, so just bear with me. If you're trying to trip out on me, if you're trying to, there we go, we want it there. Go ahead and bring that bad boy here to the there. And look, we're just gonna drop it there. And then we're gonna do that like so. We're gonna bring that. Oh, why you not just letting me break it? All right, so look, so this broadening formation ain't even tripping like that. So we're just gonna do this. Oh, it's right here. Wow. See how quick the mind is when you want to find something? See? And it's like, that's this support, but we're going to take this support. Because I don't be following everybody. I just, you know what I'm saying? I take strategies from the greats and then I refurbish it. Oh, dang, I ain't even do all that now. See? I just want this. Oh, but I got this on the magnet. I just wanted this to go a little higher, like right up here, but that's cool. We can keep it like that. But to make it more professional, not professional, but how it should be. That's your broad information. Then there's another broad information within here, which is basically, you gotta go to small time frame to be able to see it and then adjust it. But it's, and it's just broadening again. And that's basically the bottom channel. I just felt like drawing this so you could be able to see it, but that's the bottom channel. That's the channel that needs to break. Right there, right? But I like to do this. Bring that bad boy right there. The body of that candlestick. Game time. Wow. I already know we're gonna travel on top of all that and hit all my support and resistance. And the way I be charting, I promise you, like, you can even take a picture. I'm not even gonna remove this. I'm gonna leave it like this, and you're gonna see how this is gonna work perfectly tomorrow, just like this. But yeah, that's the end of the class. I see it. Yes, amazing. I can see it. Yes, we got seers. You're not holding us up, bro. Keep going. Can you throw some truth pills in the convo? I appreciate your knowledge on that. What you mean, Adrian? What do you mean by truth pills? Great class, Moody, as always. Thank you. Absolutely, Wally. Yeah, I'm just waiting. Adrian, I'm waiting on you, bro. What do you mean by that? Can you throw some truth pills? Oh, let me stop. I don't think I got any questions. Do anybody got any questions on the Head and Shoulders?
No, it was good. You actually made it very clear to me. Like, I really see it now. So thank you.
You're more than welcome, Eartha. Yeah, that's Eartha.
It is.
What's popping?
Pretty really quick. I remember last class you were talking about that you were looking into those China stocks like Baba, PDD, and all of them, and Billy, and that there was a lot of pivot machine guns on the way from them. And was wondering, do you believe that? Because I saw Baba pull back today. Do you think that there's more